This is Grammarly's AI writing app. You're writing from start to finish.
100% apple. This apple pie contains only
is
apple.
made from 100% apples.
Okay.
You've seen the thumbnail, but I have a feeling that some people might not quite understand what I mean when I say this pie is made with 100% apples.
It's just apples. Apple.
The filling is made from dehydrated apples that have been rehydrated in apple juice and then reduced and then sweetened with reduced apple juice and thickened with more apple. So the filling is 100% apple, no sugar, nothing else added. But of course there's the crust, isn't there? So it's not really 100%. But no, this crust is made from apples. Come with me on a journey to try to make the 100% apple pie. So here's a fun thing. Popped over to see a friend and neighbour the other day. He has loads of apple trees and pear trees. He's kind of fed up with
those apples are cool
apples and stuff now. And so he was kind enough to let me pick some apples. So he said, yeah, take as many as you want. So I was out there picking apples into this bag, which I happened to have in my pocket, as he was picking apples into a bucket. And we were just chatting about apple varieties and such.
Apple varieties.
And about 5-10 minutes later, he turned up at my door with the bucket.
Those are pears.
Said, I intended you to have these. I said, what, instead of these? He said, no, as well as these. So anyway, I've got an enormous quantity of apples and pears, the Cockney fruit, to deal with. I've just dehydrated a lot of those apples. And I'm just unloading the dehydrator now.
Dehydrated.
Neatly into the box like this, or else it would have just overflowed.
Bro, he has a stock of apples for a year now.
Because it's substantially the same as I did for the mushrooms in that other video, which is linked here. Anyway, just unloading all of these apple slices into storage. Now, I am noticing that down at the bottom of the dehydrator here, the apple rings were obviously exposed to a bit more heat. And so these down here are brittle.
Okay.
I want to try something with these while they're still nice and brittle and very dry. So that bottom layer, I'm going to try to run them through a food processor.
Where did he got the dehydrator or something like that?
I need a bigger box.
You can buy that.
Anything that will snap is going in that box. But I'll check every piece because sometimes the thicker slices haven't dried all that well. That one I'm not even going to put into storage because that is too moist. I'll just eat that now.
Oh, that's so good.
First, we're going to try that with
how much it costs.
Handheld blender.
Is it useful for our future?
It's been used for spices and mushrooms, and I think if I try to use it for this, I'm going to end up with spicy mushroom flavoured apples, which is not quite what I want. So first, let's get those into pieces, smaller pieces. Now, if you buy dried apple rings in the shops, they don't have this crunchy texture. They're not as dry as this. And they put sulfites in those. Okay, then I have to buy it and dehydrate it so we have food forever. I have so many food in my house. And see what happens. I suspect what will happen is this is going to fly out. So I'll probably do something like that to try to constrain it.
Or do you eat it if I got a dehydrator?
Well, it didn't not work. Now, if I had one of those ninja things where you put the vessel clamped on the top, that would probably work better, but I don't have one of those. Yeah, I think I'm just going to get a piece of cardboard to constrain the top of that because there are bits flying out, but it is working. Okay, actually a bit of thin plastic, but that will do. Well, we are ending up with something like apple powder. That's not bad. Let's go a bit further if we can.
Couldn't he get something better than that to do it?
The rest of these apples.
He could use a pilão, you know. A pilão is really useful for that stuff. You just get torn, pow, 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 and it's done. A pilão is way better.
Apple dust. Don't breathe this.
Apple dust.
That works.
Bro, it's cheap, it's made of stone. You actually can get the stone from outside and do it.
I'm going to go as far as I can because I really want that to be reduced to like a flour-like consistency. And then, very importantly, that is going to go into an airtight container before it absorbs any more moisture and cakes up anymore.
Okay.
But yeah, there we go. Apple powder.
Okay, that's powder.
Tastes like apples. So just as a preliminary experiment,
Dough?
I want to just try taking a bit of this apple dust, which
apple
has got
dust.
a real tendency to cake up because it is just.
That name is, I don't know why it's familiar to me. What the? I'm sorry.
Drip a little bit of water on it. What I want to see is whether we can.
Not 100% apple. Not 100% apple. It is water. Oh my god. Sorry.
Make a dough. I'm working in this non-stick dish mainly because
It uses water.
Well, I thought I was going to be able to make this.
You could use apple juice, but no, use it water.
Okay, fingers now, I think. Let's just see if we can knead this into some.
I'm sorry, bro.
Some sort of layer.
Sir, that is making the pie. Please don't take it seriously. I was joking, please.
Pie crust.
I was just saying that water isn't apple. I'm sorry, but your work is amazing. Please proceed cooking. I'm watching you. Thank you.
To that consistency, and just pat it onto this non-stick
pat
dish.
It. Hehe. Pat the apple, I guess.
Strong pie crust because obviously this is just apples. There's no flour in here, so there's no gluten to hold this together.
Water pie. There's a water pie in the recommended section of the video.
It just smells of apples. Now for the pie, we can't use water because that's an ingredient that isn't apples, but we can use apple juice.
Wait.
Like, obviously it just smells of apples. Now for the pie, we can't.
Because that isn't apples, but he uses water on this. It's a test! Okay. It's a test. Sorry, didn't know that.
First, I'm just going to pop that in the oven for 10 minutes and see what happens. See how it dries out. See if it just crumbles to pieces, or whether that stays in one piece, or whether it sticks like glue to this pan. So experimental apple pastry. This is after.
Oh my god, I love the spoon. What the hell? That spoon is amazing.
Crispy. But that isn't going to come off the bottom of the pan there, so I'm just going to, without scratching the non-stick, just going to tease a bit off. That went on the floor. Let's try that again, shall we? Well, anyway, so we have ended up with something that does hold together. It doesn't taste like pastry, it tastes like apples, obviously. But we've got to figure out this problem of it sticking to the pan. Right, I think I have a plan for this entirely apple
Use
pie.
apple
It's going to be
juice.
similar to something I made in my cider making part 1 video, where I took
this
some
guy's
dehydrated
obsessed
apple,
with apples,
I
isn't
rehydrated it
it?
in apple juice, which made it kind of doubly appley. Then I cooked it in more apple juice, which I reduced down, which made it kind of 3 times as appley flavoured. That's where we're going to start here. So these apple rings here with the green skins, these are Bramleys.
Yes, I plan a lot of apples. I guess I have to see some doses because I have apples, I have nuts, I have lemons, I have pears, I have another tree, I don't know the name is, I have oranges, I have tangerines.
Possibly Brayburn or something like that.
I don't know, and I have a lot of stuff wrong.
Oversized. That's a dessert variety, quite sweet. This is a slightly less sweet dessert variety. Not really sure what it is, but again, these are what we call eating apples. Granny Smith is what we would call an eating apple. It is a sour one that people often use for cooking, but it's not a cooking apple. This is a cooking apple. This is Bramley seedling, and it's.
Bro, it's an apple. Just eat it, bro. Don't go too deep in the apple lore, okay?
This is a small one. This is a
don't
small
focus too much on the race of the apple, okay? Just eat the apple.
This apple, I would hesitate to say this is only used for cooking because there'll be people down in the comments right now
or
saying,
breed. Is a race or a breed? I don't know.
More power to you. But
yeah, it's apple. You eat it anyway, bro.
It's one of quite a large.
I'm not joking. You just eat it. It's
cooking
fruits.
Apples, cooking varieties, culinary apples. There are varieties that have been bred to be cooked in pies or baked or used in sauces, those sorts of things. Usually they need a bit of sugar added for most people's taste. Often they have a particular behaviour when they're cooked. So some cooking apple varieties dissolve down into apple sauce really easily. Others keep a nice firm texture that would be quite good for apple chunks in an apple pie. Bramley arguably the most common and popular cooking apple variety, is a really good all-rounder. It retains enough of its texture
For me,
when
apple
it's
is
cut into
apple.
chunks and cooked that it's good.
Why does
in
it
apple
smell so
pies.
bad in here?
Cook it a little bit further, it will break down.
I'm
to
getting
sauce.
worried
And it
with
has
this
a
now. I'm
distinctive
getting so
apple
weird
flavour.
smells like.
I think a lot of people in the UK associate with the flavour of apple pie. When we think of apple pie flavour, we're partly thinking of Bramley. Anyway, that is
I guess
cooking
everything is
apples
fine
versus
here.
eating apples or dessert apples. So we'll start with some
Dessert
of those.
apples. It's an apple.
Put some
Eat
red apples in as
apple.
well.
Eat
In fact, no, let's
apples.
not, because the crust is going to be made from powdered apples, which is a mixture of Bramleys and dessert apples. The juice that we're going to rehydrate this in is from a mixture of apples, but let's make the apple pieces themselves.
Bro, imagine, if I was gonna do this, I'm gonna use the same species or race or whatever of apple.
It is all going to be apple. And then I've got some apple
Because,
juice. This was
bro, I'm
frozen.
not
This
gonna
is the
buy
second to
every
last
single
litre of apple juice I've
variety,
got
bro. I don't know, man.
from that cider pressing. It's been in the freezer. There's still a little bit of it, slightly frozen, but mostly thawed out now. So that's going to go over the top of these apple pieces. Just weigh those down like that to keep them immersed.
Okay.
And then that's going to soak for, well, overnight at very least. Got about half that apple juice left. These are my Bramley apple slices that have been soaking overnight.
Ooh.
Nice and floppy now.
They
and
look
rehydrated,
good.
but rehydrated with apple juice. So doubly appley. I'll drain that off into the pan because we're going to use that apple juice that's remaining for the sauce. So I'm going to put that on the stove and start that reducing before we do anything else.
Looks like beer.
White noise in the
I'm
background.
sorry.
It's pouring with rain
The
today.
color.
So this is a pleasant Sunday afternoon activity, making weird apple pies. I feel like I won't use that bit in the pie, it's just a bit discoloured. So now I'm going to cut these up into little cubes for my apple pie filling. And at the moment they're still quite woolly, but
woolly.
when that other apple juice
What?
has reduced a
Woolly?
little bit, I'll cook them in there for a bit. They will
What do
absorb
you
some
mean
more
they're
liquid,
woolly?
and the texture will change a bit. Anyway, that's what I'm doing now. I'm just
They
going to
have
dice these
what?
into little
Wool?
uniform dice. Skins are staying on.
What?
I wouldn't always do that.
Bro,
And I
I'm
have to find that This is
confused.
going to be quite well cooked.
I'm
Juice that was left over from the soaking, which may be not exactly apple juice because something soaked into the apples, maybe differentially. I think that's sufficiently reduced for now. So the apple pieces can go in there, which is going to take it off the boil for a moment because they're cold. So that's the apple pieces in. Now I'm just going to cook this, simmer it and reduce it. The apples will probably swell up a little bit more and absorb some of the juice, but also I want to drive off the water out of here and make it more sticky and syrupy. This is not how I'd normally make a filling for an apple pie, but if I was making a filling for an apple pie conventionally, this might be the point where I would add some spice, maybe ground mixed spice, maybe cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, something like that. I'm not going to do that today. Not because I don't like those flavours, but because this pie needs to be 100% apple. I switched to a slightly larger pan just because, well, when these apple pieces swelled up a little bit, the liquid wasn't evaporating off the top because there was just a layer of apple on top of the liquid.
Do you want
It
to
wasn't
try
reducing
this?
at all, it was
No,
just
maybe it's too
boiling
much
underneath.
water. I don't have a
This is
dehydrator
actually now cooking
and the
reducing
cider
at the same
machine.
time.
I
It
don't have
looks
that
like
stuff.
it's gonna come
So
together
yeah,
about
we
right.
not try this.
There's still way too much liquid in there at the moment, so we'll just keep going. That's really not far off now. Before it actually boils completely dry, we're just going to have a slight interlude for handheld blender. I want this apple pie filling to have
This
a
uses
sauce to
too
it.
much fancy
So I'm going to
cooking
very
things.
briefly blend some
Yeah,
of these
no,
apples,
yeah, normal apple pie. I
Not the
agree.
whole
We
lot.
can make a normal one.
just like that. 3 little blips. That's a bit more like it. Right, now back to the cooker just to reduce that a bit more. And this will have to be stirred constantly now, or else it will catch and burn. So I think we're getting close. I do need to make my filling a bit thicker than it would normally be.
I am kind of mesmerized looking at this. I'm sorry.
I think we'll stop there because it will carry on drying out a bit.
Do you want to buy a specific type of apple, or can it be my
stands to be the fun part
apples?
too.
You know, the problem is that my apples are really
powder. So it did occur to me, I could just get a little dish, put some of this apple pie filling in the bottom of the dish, sprinkle some of this apple powder on top, and call it apple crumble, and done. But anyway, I'm going to attempt to make apple pastry now. When I did this on the dummy run, I used water to hydrate that. Obviously I can't do that now because we are going for 100% apple pie. No other ingredients, not even water. Apples contain water, but apples are not water. So anyway, we're going to hydrate this with apple juice. Just to keep faithful to the 100% apple.
Are you listening? Are you hearing me?
It's relatively dry. It does need a little bit more than that. Right.
Bro, what are you talking about? Everything is fine here. Bro? Are you okay? It seems here that everything is fine. Is it you? Okay then.
So we've got some sort of apple dough there. Now because of the amount of sugar in there, and I think also the cellulose, we'll have trouble getting that not to stick to a non-stick surface. So I do have a cunning plan for this. We will just temporarily line that pie dish with cling film. We'll have a... Does that look about the right amount of crust in there? Let's assume it is. The other layer of cling film across the top like that. And then, second pie dish.
Seconds. Huh? Ah. What is he doing?
Try to force that up the sides and make a pie case like that. Let's see how that's working. Is it working? Well, almost. Actually, maybe what I need to do first is just, massage it over the tops like that. Yeah, that'll do it.
I guess it looks good.
Okay. Now, I could just oil these or butter these dishes and that would stop this from sticking, more than likely. But again, we are
But you could use apple juice.
Mode. Therefore,
you just get a brush and pincelate it with apple juice.
Okay, another plan is required. At least I know this is releasing okay from the cling film. So this was the bag from inside a cereal packet, which happened to split all the way along the seam. What I'll do, I think, is roll that out in between. Start again with a ball. It's really not got any doughiness to it because it is just apple. And then what we'll attempt.
That's so cute, it's a ball.
Rolling pin between the two sheets.
Doing, doing, doing. Doing, doing, sorry. You know, that reminds me of those cereal bars you get for fitness or something.
It looks like it's about the right diameter, maybe a bit more.
Look, it looks like he's going to put a hat on the apple pie. Looks cute, I guess.
So that comes off of there, okay. Cling film onto that side.
Okay, it is so much work, Jesus Christ.
Nope. Come on. That's oh, come on. It's stuck to that side then. Wow. Did I mention this is sticky? Alright.
You could use wood or something.
Flour the work surface. We can't because obviously flour would be a non-apple ingredient, except if it's apple flour.
Ah, now you're thinking, well, let's go.
Now I've made this dough. I've added some more dry ingredient to this as well. So this is now a bit drier as well. which may make it more crumbly, or it might make it just firmer. Here goes. A little dusting of...
Looks like a burger now.
That part appears to have worked. I still don't want to put this directly into this pan because it will just stick. I'm certain of it. However, hopefully now we can ease this crust into place. Well, that went a bit...
Bro, how are you gonna take the plastic
Seems
off?
like it's working. Just
Looks
gotta
like
make
a
sure it's all the
flower,
way
so
down to the bottom
cute.
so we don't put any stress on it. I'll just flatten off this top here so that we're ready to accept a top crust. I think while I've been fiddling around anyway, I think the filling is actually cooled down. So I'm going to do the same again. I'm going to make some more apple pastry for the top crust. Getting a bit low on apple dust now, but I can always make some more. Alright, here we go then. So that's my top crust ready. I'll just offer that up, make sure it's big enough. It's not quite big enough. Just roll it a little bit further that way. Apple filling into my apple bottom crust.
I don't think that thing needs to go to the oven. It looks good already. I don't think...
Fill that right up to level. This pie is only going to get baked enough to crisp up the crust because everything else is already cooked. Top crust on the top and press it down, and then if I can, I'll get this sheet up of there. Oh, this is fragile.
Careful. You don't want to ruin your apple pie that's taking so long to do. No.
Come on. Not happening. Palette knife, perhaps.
Come on.
Okay, I can still patch this up. So, I haven't given up yet. That is a mess. But we can patch this up. So I'm just going to take these pieces of pastry off the edge here like this, because I will use those on the top to patch up this crust.
Okay, this looks so hard to do, bro. Nah, it's
yeah, I think we're going to
it's
get
too
away
much
with this.
stuff to think about.
At least so far.
Okay, I think it's
not gonna
good.
have any kind of integrity.
He's
at all.
doing it. Yeah, but it's hard, bro. What?
So I think what I may have to do is build it up in layers. So, apple juice, brush that on.
That's what I was talking about, bro. Put that in the pan too so it doesn't stick.
Dust it on. Press it down. Okay, well it kind of looks a bit like a pie. We're not remotely out of the woods yet though. However, let's give it a little crimp around the edge if we can. Something like that. I think maybe another layer of apple juice just to try to bind that apple dust together. And then
more. Jesus Christ!
Little dusting if there's enough in there.
Why more? Why so many dust?
Right. Now, how the heck are we going to cook that? Good question. Baking tray, non-stick, reusable baking liner.
Where do I get that?
Super non-stick. I'm making sure I haven't got the cling film tucked under. Invert that onto there. The dish should just come off because That's just held on by the cling film. And I'm going to bake it upside down.
Why?
I say bake it. I'm going to attempt to bake it upside down.
Okay, good.
I think it might work.
Looks like a hit.
Okay, that's going to go in a low oven. Probably like 150 degrees Celsius for as long as I dare. Now, I'm not sure this is a good idea. In fact, I'm not sure any of this project is a good idea. But I am going to pierce a little steam vent in the top here because I definitely don't want this bursting. That is obviously going to be the bottom of the pie when it's cooked, but we won't see that bit. Okay. Oh, I can see it. Oh no, I think those are creases actually rather than cracks. Anyway, good luck, little pie. I'll
little
check on
pie.
that after 10 minutes. Right, that's after 10 minutes of cooking, and I actually turned it down because I don't want the insides to boil. It is dry on the outside now. I don't know that we're going to get it crisp there, and I daren't really take it any further, so I'm probably going to stop there. We will get
Please
the top
try
crisp
the apple pie.
the grill.
I open it. I want to try. I want to see if it's good.
I'll just paper over the cracks here. Okay. I just ate raw dough. How about that? Right, I'm going to leave that to cool. I think we're cool enough to handle now. So here goes. Oh, cracked. Darn it. Okay. That's going to go onto there like that. I think actually this may turn out to be a disaster.
Don't you tell me.
Slip it in there now that that bottom is dried up. That will constrain it into the pie shape. Only the top is now going to receive further baking. Just let's see if we can actually repair this crack. I think I might glaze the top with apple juice anyway. Although that is all soaking in. Okay. And we actually got the rather coarse pieces of apple now. Let's just see if we can do a little repair job there. Just smoosh that back together. That might do the job actually. And then perhaps we'll just have a little sprinkle of those bits on top. Just to make it look a bit more crusty or something. That's now going to go under the grill on a low heat.
Grill?
Just really to dry that out and
grill?
try and crisp it up.
Bro.
Okay. Owing to the nature of the everything, this is not going to go crispy. It has dried out and it has browned. I daren't take it any further than that or else it will just catch. You can already see it's actually started to toast a little bit in places. That's as far as I dare take it. Anyway, I'm going to leave that to dry out now and then we'll give it a taste. The dish is now
taste.
I'm going to try and
please, I need to see how it looks. Oh no.
Is it going to come out? Or has it wedged itself in there? Oh, good. Okay, well, it's out in one piece-ish. And then back over again.
Ooh, nice plates.
So here is the finished.
I would eat that in like 3 or 4 bites, bro.
Got a little bit of crispiness to the crust. Not as much as I would have liked, but it is a crust. Next thing I think I need to do is just try to cut a photogenic wedge out of here for the thumbnail.
Ooh.
Well, there we go.
Eats.
100% apple pie. I wonder what it tastes like.
Please say it's
Brace
good,
yourself
bro.
for this revelation. It tastes of apples. What else could it taste of? The experience is pie. There's a crust here, look. And a little bit doughy, but that's because of the journey we've been through. You watch the whole process, you know why that happened. The flavour is just intense, complete apple. It's quite remarkable, actually. There is nothing to get in the way of the apple flavour. The apple filling is a little bit on the sharp side because we used the Bramleys rather than the dessert apples. But there's no sugar. There's no added sugar in this. There's just the natural sugars in the apples. There's nothing except apples in here. And yet it tastes sweet enough, and it does taste kind of like a pie. The illusion of pastry is definitely there. This little part was recorded afterwards in case you're wondering why there's a continuity issue with the completeness of the pie.
Okay.
This is not one of my criteria for whether something is a pie or not, but you can pick up a slice of this and eat it with more or less the same handling and properties as you would have with a piece of genuine apple pie with a pastry crust. I think it's a pie. Jenny actually asked to try
I would eat something like that if it was like also a cake.
Jenny agrees that this is definitely a pie.
And
We are
stuff.
definitely experiencing pie.
What if it could be like a cake?
Unusual composition. So there we go.
Apple,
That is
you're
the
so
100%
adorable.
apple pie. I don't know if anybody else has ever done that. I didn't research this. It's just an idea I had. I just went off and did it. Is this a world first? I doubt it. But there we go. 100% apple pie. I hope that's been interesting. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.
Let's go. Shrimp. Okay, I like the process, but I believe this is too hard to do at my house. Jesus Christ. When are they opening an iPhone 17? Apple related. This guy is obsessed with apples. There's no way. Horse. I'm allergic to apples. Bro, yeah, imagine. Is there people that are allergic to pies? I don't know, but I love this video.